It's a good AGam in Kansas morning. Good morning. Let's take a look and see what's coming up today. First, Stu Duncan reviews the successes of past Kansas Soybean Schools and updates us on what's happening in 2016. Then Dr. Chris Blevins and Dr. Elizabeth Santschi discuss the new Equine Lameness Locator. And Curtis Thompson talks about the importance of atrazine in weed management. Learn how soils have affected the rise and fall of civilizations, and we'll end with research about regional differences in cattle genetics. Closed captioning brought to you by Kansas Soybean Commission, the Soybean Checkoff Progress, powered by Kansas farmers. This segment brought to you by Kansas Regenerative Medicine. Your stem cells, your health, your life.
Hi, I'm Stu Duncan, the Northeast Area Extension Specialist for Kansas State University. I'm here at the Kansas Soybean Commission reviewing our past successes with our Kansas Soybean Schools that we've held statewide in 2014 and 15. The purpose was to get the most current, up-to-date, unbiased information to our key stakeholders, be that farmers, soybean producers number one, but also support personnel, be it industry or private or extension. The schools this year will be at Great Bend, Beloit, Overbrook, and Marysville. We've moved them at the request of growers and soybean commissioners to cover different areas. We've averaged at the 4 schools in 2014 and 15 of 315 to 320 total participants. The estimate has been from the practices implemented, because we do have our producers fill out a survey, approximately $500,000 of extra income to our farmers, at least those that have participated in the survey. And profit increases anywhere from $0 to $15 an acre is about what it's averaged. But these, the surveys that were answered, our growers have all said, continue these. What our main topics are going to be generally production topics. Your basic pest management has really moved to the front, be it weeds, diseases, or insects. But we've also added some things in with different practices. I know this year we've got a grad student that's going to present at a couple of schools concerning mare's tail, the extended mare's tail germination period and what we can expect. We have one of our ag economists, Terry Griffin, that's going to be talking about big data and managing that, incorporating that into your operation. Fertility is another area that's been very close to the forefront. To get updated information, check with your e-update, and if you're not on that e-update mailing list, check with your local county extension agent. They are subscribed to these, and if you can, once your own subscription, you can get it there. The schools are again the last week of January. The first one will be on January 25th at Great Bend, and do get registered pre. That's very important to us. Just planning so we have enough supplies, and for the meal that it is provided by, funded by your soybean checkoff dollars through the Kansas Soybean Commission.
Next time you see a beautiful field of corn, reach out and thank the farmers who work tirelessly to raise corn for livestock feed, renewable fuels, and exports to feed a growing world population. The farmers on the Kansas Corn Commission work for Kansas Corn with grower-funded checkoff dollars that support foreign and domestic market development, research, promotion, and education to expand opportunities for Kansas farmers. To learn more, visit kscorn.com.
Buying a car shouldn't be this hard. And at Brown Chevrolet Buick in Wamego, it isn't. It's actually awesome. Whether you want a new or used car or truck, Toby's team can make the deal. Even if you want to custom order a new car or truck, Toby's team can make the deal. See Toby's team at Brown Chevrolet Buick in Wamego. We're awesome. Tallgrass Commodities offers producers bulk commodities at a reasonable price with reliable service throughout the whole Midwest. To find out more about Tallgrass Commodities, visit tallgrass.us or call 785-494-8484.
When your living depends on agriculture, you can depend on KFRM 550 AM. If you're in the southwest three-fourths of Kansas or the northern half of Oklahoma, catch us at 550 AM on the radio dial. But if that isn't you, listen on your cell phone at TuneIn Radio or on your computer at KFRM.com. We promise to keep you informed, entertained, and company as you go through your day. KFRM 550 AM, the voice of the plains. We would like to join your management team.
Watch AGam in Kansas online at agaminkansas.com. AGam in Kansas brought to you in part by Kansas Corn. Learn more at kscorn.com.
Hello and welcome to Horsing Around. I'm Dr. Chris Blevins at Kansas State University Veterinary Health Center. Today joined by our equine surgeon, Dr. Elizabeth Santschi. So welcome.
Thank you, Dr. Blevins.
One of the aspects of new things going on here at the vet school that a lot of people have asked about is a thing called a lameness locator. Could you describe a little bit about what the lameness locator is and how it works?
One of the challenges that we have with the detection of lameness is determining what leg the horse is lame on, particularly in cases of multiple limb lameness. So the lameness locator is a computer-based system that allows us to make that determination. It does it by putting 2 accelerometers and a gyroscope on the horse. If you're familiar with the technology in some video games like the Wii, where the machine knows where your arm is in space, it's very similar to that sort of arrangement. So the 2 accelerometers are placed on the horse's head and on the horse's rump, and they move up and down. Lame horses are asymmetric in the way in which those accelerometers move, and the gyroscope is placed on the distal leg, usually the right front, and that tells the machine sort of what phase of the stride the horse is in when the asymmetry is occurring. So what it does is it gives us an objective measurement of lameness, and if you're doing nerve blocks to sort of ameliorate the lameness when the lameness has improved, which helps you localize the source of the pain.
You know, and I think some people, they wonder, like, is this still in research-based, or is this actually clinical-based, or they're using them on client-owned animals, and so what do you think about that?
So this system was developed at the University of Missouri by a team led by Dr. Kevin Keegan, and it has gone through extensive and rigorous evaluation, both from a research perspective and a clinical perspective. So they've been using this particular system clinically for many years, probably almost as long as 10 years, and I've used it myself for a half a dozen years, and recently we've reintroduced it to Kansas State, or introduced it, I should say, to Kansas State, so we can bring this technology, which is continually improving in its computer algorithms that help it work, and introduced it to the people of Kansas.
And I think this is a great opportunity for the vet school here at Kansas State to have this extra modality in lamenesses, because lamenesses are seen almost on a daily basis at any practice, especially even here. What do, I guess if somebody wanted to come and have that aspect or use of, what would they expect with the use of the lameness locator if they would bring an animal here at the vet school?
My experience is that clients love the lameness locator because it gives them a graphical representation of their horse's particular problem that's concerned them. And so it can show them not only what leg is lame, but how lame that leg is, and so it's quite valuable for them to experience the lameness locator. It is a system with a minimal footprint on the horse, so there's 2, as I said, there's 3 different small boxes, maybe an inch by an inch by an inch, that are placed on the horse and taped on so that they're rigid, and they're very useful for the detection of lameness.
You know, I think these are all just great things, and if they ever need to contact you or any other equine surgeons here at the vet school, they can call 785-532-5700.
And we'll be happy to help them.
Well, thank you, Dr. Santschi, for joining us here today and talking about the lameness locator.
Thank you, Dr. Blevins.
I'm Dr. Chris Blevins at Kansas State Veterinary Health Center with Horsing Around, and we'll see you around.
The Kansas Wheat Innovation Center in Manhattan is rediscovering ways to get improved varieties and new genetics in the hands of farmers faster. Grower-led and checkoff-funded research initiatives are bringing about positive change. This grassroots leadership provides a strong voice in Topeka and Washington, D.C. Now is the time to partner with Kansas Wheat in moving wheat forward. Kansas Wheat Commission and Kansas Association of Wheat Growers. Farmers investing in their future and yours. Log on to rediscoverwheat.org.
Heinen Brothers, a fourth-generation Northeast Kansas farm family, knows how tough farming can be. Farmers helping farmers. Heinen Brothers Ag, selling and servicing crop protection products, fertilizer, anhydrous ammonia, cover crops, quality aerial and ground application. Call today to learn about our extended term financing program. 800-760-4964. HeinenBrothersAg.com.
Kansas Farm Bureau, the voice of agriculture. To join today or for more information, go to kfb.org or find us on Facebook and Twitter.
I'm Curtis Thompson. I am a professor and extension weed specialist here in the agronomy department at Kansas State University. And today we are talking about the importance of atrazine and its use in our crop production aspects of weed management. We continue to see the herbicide atrazine, as others, being targeted and consistently being reviewed. But I think I'm very confident in all of the research that has been done over the years and the very tough scrutiny that has gone on with each and every herbicide, that we can feel very confident that we are doing all we can to keep our food growing in this country safe for the public. Atrazine at one point in time was observed perhaps in some of our watersheds. Currently, strategies have been implemented, and just checking the watershed site at this point, all levels of atrazine are in compliance with EPA, and we currently don't have any watersheds with the atrazine restrictions. The concern that I have as a weed scientist, and basically speaking for especially the corn and sorghum growers that utilize atrazine, it is still a very key component in our weed management systems. Over the years, we have developed atrazine-resistant replacements, but to be honest with you, all of our atrazine-resistant placements work better or are basically synergized with the use of atrazine. Now, the overall pounds of atrazine used in weed management has declined over the years. I think we're using it more efficiently, but it's still that essential component, both with pre-emergence and post-emergence weed control applications in corn and in grain sorghum. And so if the day were to come when atrazine was removed from our weed management toolbox, it would be very devastating and increased costs. And I, at this point, couldn't guarantee that we could do an adequate job of weed control without the use of atrazine in these two crops. And if we continue to look at atrazine and critically scrutinize it, if for some reason it was taken from us, they'll only move on to another herbicide. And of course, the most probably commonly used herbicide in our systems beyond atrazine would be glyphosate. And clearly we've also seen, attacks on glyphosate, but again, I think we have research in place and can document its safe use and the fact that there is no risk in our crops and in the food that we're producing based on atrazine or glyphosate.
Hello, I'm Dr. Frank Lyons from Kansas Regenerative Medicine Center here in Manhattan, Kansas. Daryl was one of our patients that we did about 7 months ago.
I dug trees by hand for years and years and years. In the process, I wore out my rotator cuff. But when I learned about this process, I thought if there's a way to get rid of this pain, then I want to do it. So we did it and it worked. And I'm not going to go out and dig trees with a shovel anymore, but I can do the things that I want to do now.
Well, it's been very gratifying to help people with their painful joints and other entities. And it's been especially gratifying to be able to help people who I know and have worked with and known for many years.
Hello friends, I'm Ernie Rodina.
And I'm Dawn Dawson with the Better Horses Radio Show.
For over 9 years, we've been bringing the Better Horses Radio Show to markets all across the Midwest. We talk about God, lots about horses.
We talk about cows, we talk about horse health, we talk to top trainers, and we even talk about Roy Rogers.
We are having a blast with Better Horses Radio Show and would love to take it to a market near you.
So visit our website at betterhorsesradio.com and let us or your local radio station know you'd like to hear it in your area.
The Better Horses Radio Show is unbelievable.
Tallgrass Commodities offers producers bulk commodities at a reasonable price with reliable service throughout the whole Midwest. To find out more about Tallgrass Commodities, visit tallgrass.us or call 785-494-8484.
Grain sorghum is one of the most important cereal crops worldwide, and Kansas leads the nation in its production. A high-energy, drought-tolerant crop, sorghum only requires 6 inches of water to produce the first bushel. And with its wide uses and easy adaptation, sorghum proves to be a truly indispensable crop. Kansas Grain Sorghum is committed to sorghum research, market development, and education. Learn more at ksgrainsorghum.org. This segment brought to you by Heinen Brothers Ag, farmers helping farmers by offering quality aerial and ground application, fertilizer, ag chemicals, and anhydrous ammonia. Call today to protect your crop yield.
Many authors have documented the rise and fall of civilizations that are related to how soils are managed and the quality of the soils. It's a number of societies around the world that have risen and fallen because of their degradation of their soil resource. And ecosystem services are essential, beneficial functions that the soil provide for the environment and for society. Things like clothing. So cotton and wool production are related to soils. There's a lot of regulating functions that soils provide. It helps mitigate floods and mitigate carbon dioxide in the atmosphere through carbon sequestration.
Because there's so much carbon in the soil and it's in such stable forms, it's a great idea to keep as much carbon in the soil as possible. And at this point, there's lots of conservation tillage measurements and lots of activities that land managers can do to keep carbon in the soil.
And then cultural, which is something that a lot of people don't think about, but soil can be used as an art medium in and of itself.
We use ceramics in our daily life. Even if you don't use handmade pottery, chances are you drink out of a coffee mug. There's endless possibilities. We work with a periodic table of elements to compose glazes and to compose clay bodies.
We understand soils are great for growing plants. They clean our water. That's been part of the themes for the International Year of Soils. But what most people don't understand is the value of those organisms directly for us, for humans. Just as an example, over 90% of our antibiotics that we use currently for our health came from microorganisms.
that countries like the United States were founded on a very healthy and productive soil resource. And when you have that natural resources, then a large segment of the population can participate in other activities that advance society. So very much so, the wealth of this country and areas like it around the world is very much related to the soil resource.
Grain sorghum is one of the most important cereal crops worldwide, and Kansas leads the nation in its production. Over the years, sorghum has been either exported, used in animal feed domestically, or for other industrial uses. Recently, its use in the ethanol market has seen tremendous growth, with 30% of domestic sorghum typically going to ethanol production. Kansas Grain Sorghum is committed to sorghum research, market development, and education. Learn more at ksgrainsorghum.org.
Kansas Farm Bureau, the voice of agriculture, represents grassroots agriculture. The state's largest and most powerful farm organization stands up for its members through leadership development, agriculture education, legal defense, environmental advocacy, farm safety, and risk management. Members also enjoy money-saving benefits. To join our organization today or to learn more, go to www.kfb.org or find us on Facebook and Twitter.
Soil is the life of a farm, and for 25 years, SureCrop Liquid Crop Nutrition has helped growers produce abundant quality crops while preserving and improving the soils they steward. SureCrop offers complete soil and plant analysis with cropping recommendations, delivery direct to your on-farm storage, and quality crop nutrition custom blended for your field. Choose SureCrop for the assurance of excellence for your soil. Call today or visit their website for more information.
The Kansas Wheat Innovation Center in Manhattan is rediscovering ways to get improved varieties and new genetics in the hands of farmers faster. Grower-led and checkoff-funded research initiatives are bringing about positive change. This grassroots leadership provides a strong voice in Topeka and Washington, D.C. Now is the time to partner with Kansas Wheat in moving wheat forward. Kansas Wheat Commission and Kansas Association of Wheat Growers. Farmers investing in their future and yours. Log on to rediscoverwheat.org.
Valley Vet Supply is devoted to providing information and professional quality products at reasonable prices.
Valley Vet Supply.
AGam in Kansas is brought to you in part by SureCrop, liquid crop nutrition delivered right to your farm.
From the fescue belt to the high desert to high altitudes, ranching has different challenges in each region. Through the years, cattlemen have found genetics that work in each of them. New research aims to uncover just what's different.
So are there certain families and lines of cattle that are better suited to the Gulf Coast, the fescue belt, the upper plains, high altitude, the lower plains, those type of things. So just trying to look at, has there been a selection that has happened in those regions to make the cattle better adapted, and then we can actually see the footprints of that selection in the genomic data.
Decker and his team hope to find the genetic markers that make certain lines of cattle perform better in specific environments. That will help develop specialized EPDs by region.
One of the things that I'm really passionate about is we now have the tools with the genomics, and we have the methods and the resources to really get this done. And so it's really imperative that we do this for our commercial producers so we can meet their needs and really help them to be more profitable.
But it's about more than just today's bottom line.
So one of the things that we've started talking about in the beef industry is, of course, sustainability. So that's making sure we make a profit, making sure we're doing things in a socially acceptable manner, and then, of course, trying to minimize our environmental footprint. When we identify cattle that are actually well adapted to their environment, they do a better job in all of those things.
The new selection tools could allow for cattle that are more comfortable and productive in their regional environments. The 3-year research project is supported by the Angus Foundation. I'm Jenna McCrell.
Closed captioning brought to you by Kansas Soybean Commission, the Soybean Checkoff Progress, powered by Kansas farmers. To see this show and past episodes of AGam in Kansas, go online to agaminkansas.com.